Hey y'all, hey everybody. How are y'all doing today? I hope everyone is doing well, so welcome. Come on in, make yourself at home. My name is Marcia with Mimi Makes Keepsakes. I'm happy that you're here. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, yay! I appreciate y'all hanging out with me so much. I enjoy sharing with y'all, and thank you for corresponding with me back and forth. It just makes my day to see your comments down below on my videos. I get a lot of very encouraging and great feedback on how things are going. This is new. This whole setting's new. I'm still working with it. I'm still moving stuff out of my previous craft room into this little studio area. Not crazy about the air conditioned background. I'm getting used to where to look for you. You're not here, you're not here. There you are. There you are. So I do have a lot to talk with y'all today about the things that I've made. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably have a good idea what this video is about. So I'm going to take a sip of coffee. I got a feeling this video is going to be a little long. So if you want to take you a sip, get you a coffee and a project. I know everybody says that. Grab you something to drink and a project and come hang out with me. And if you're like me, you already have a project in your lap. You're going to town or whatever it is. Because when I have my, I know, I'm not going to try and ramble too much. When I have my patterns on file, a digital file, I'm able to do a split screen because I put it in Writers Pro. That way I can make notes or draw a line where I left off. So half of the screen will be YouTube videos and the other half would be my digital files. I do work from books also. I wish I could afford to print out all of my patterns, but that's just too much ink. So and sometimes a digital file is good. You can work from wherever on the go. But back to why you're here today. It was a busy week. I did have little man. And in between his naps, I would work on a project. And then that afternoon after he left, I would get started on another project. But it all started, I have a baby shower coming up. And I'm like, I want to do a Mama Made Minis Lovey. And of course, you know, which one do? I have so many patterns. I have their ebook. I have their Etsy patterns. I have their hard copy book. It's not their paperback book. And so I said, I want to do a Lovey. I enjoy making Loveys. I think they'll always be my favorite. But I wanted something where I didn't have to pay attention to color change, a lot of shaping. So the bear. I've done their Ever Bear. I'll post a picture here. I've done their Ever Bear Lovey. I think it was one of the first bear Loveys they came out with. And I did that. I've been doing their bear Loveys for a long time. It's quick, easy, simple. And then they came out with Briggs the Bear. I've been working on. I like Briggs Bear a little bit better because of the way the nose is shaped. But let's just go ahead and get started. So I had a baby shower to go to. I wanted to do a Lovey, and the bear is the most simple project. I think one of Mama Made Minis' most simple patterns they have. And I saw this yarn and like, this will make a perfect bear. So I did him out of this blue mystical, I believe, yarn. And I put a little rattle in his head. You hear that? Wait, here I am. There's the mic. So this is the Mama Made Minis Knotted Lovey from their Etsy pattern. And like I said, it's one of their easy patterns. You do the color change here, but you don't have to. You can just, their Everbear is all one color. And this nose is just more prominent than the Everbear nose, the Briggs pattern. Briggs is a more updated pattern for them. But the ears are crocheted in. You can do a color change if you're a beginner. I believe if you want to try that color change, you can. If not, like I said, you can do it all one color. And it will still look great. So this is for a baby shower. And this is, I believe, Teal Storm, this color, and this is Baby Sand. And I gave him sleepy eyes. Isn't that precious? Little sleepy eyes. And the, like I said, the little rattle. I will connect to this video a tutorial I have for sleepy eyes and how I knot the legs. I know a couple people say they have a hard time knotting the legs. I just fold it in and I don't tighten real tight. But I believe that video is connected with the Dinosaur Lovey video that I did, and I'll leave that link down below. But I was looking and I said I want to put, I got ready to sew up the back and like, you know what, a rattle would fit really good in here. Y'all, my southern tongue, like a baby rattler. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let me show you. Hold please. All right, I appreciate you holding on for a little bit. Ta-da, I'm back. So this is what I ordered from Amazon, and I think I'm going to have to get another pack because I like to make my Octos baby friendly and put these little rattles in it. And then someone asked me what type of rattles do I get, and I gave the link from Amazon. A lot of times they say they can't hear them. So when I either do Octos or Loveys, I will either put well, especially for my Octos, I will either put the rattle on top or underneath when I start to fasten off and close up that gap. But with this one, I just put it here in the back and then I fastened off and then I threaded. Then you close your hole and then I took my needle and I just threaded through a couple times and then left that yarn hanging, that end yarn hanging. So when I did my arms, when I connected the body to the head and I had that yarn in, I would loop it through here a couple times, tie those two yarns together, fasten off. So that way it gives it a little bit of extra closure. And same way with my arms, when I sew my arms on, I take those yarn ends, pull them up through the head, pull them through a couple of stitches, take a knot them off, snip and tuck them back in the head, just to kind of make everything a little bit more secure. With the embroidery eyes, I did sleepy eyes. I like to do sleepy eyes with especially baby friendly yarn. I do have a video I'll post down in the bottom. My grandson has so many Loveys. He's 2 now, and so he's had them since he was born. My daughter throws them in the wash machine and dryer, and she just washes them. No, like little delicate cycle bag or anything like that. And they turn out fine. They hold their shape fine, but they look like they've been loved and washed. They don't have that brand new look anymore. But sometimes these little threads of the eyes will come through. The thread doesn't come out, but sometimes the thread will poke through. And I have a care card that I give with my Loveys when I sell them at market. Just let them know what to do if the threads are to poke through, and how to care for the Lovey. But I will post that video in the description below on how the Loveys held up in over a year's time of being washed and dried. He still brings one over every morning when he comes to stay the day with Mimi. Okay, so this is not the only one I made. If y'all seen my Instagram, y'all have seen them. But this was the first one I made, and I just love it. I think it's going to make a perfect baby gift. Over the tail, I did surface crochet instead of doing 6 rounds and sewing it on. I just started with 6, fastened off, sewed up the hole, and pulled my thread through, knotted it, and that's what I did. So I made this one, and like I said, I think it's Mystical Burnett Blanket Teal Storm. And then for another baby on the way, I did one in pink. I think this is stinking adorable. This is the same hook, 7mm for the head, 8mm for the body. This yarn is definitely thicker than the Mystical. This is Bernat Blanket yarn, and this is called that tan pink. The yarn is soft, but I did not enjoy working with this yarn. It's almost like it would twist. I don't know if y'all have had that issue. But I made her embroidery eyes a little bit more fancy. And I do have a tutorial I just did, so I'll be sharing that with you. Someone asked me if I could do a tutorial on how I do the nose and the eyes. I'm like, yes. I would be glad to. And so that will be a separate video that I will share with y'all. But this one also, I did surface crochet for the tail. And this is Briggs the Bear also. Gave her the little rattle. And I just think it's going to be loved. So I did 2 Briggs the Knotted Lovey bears. And they each have their own little personality depending on how you do their eyes. I think they turn out adorable. And so for his nose, I used that Mystical Cinder, that Bernat Blanket. And I really like that color for the nose. It did really well. And I used Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton black for the eyes. Same for here. And I use the Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton white for the eyes. So I go back and forth with embroidering the eyes, whether it's cotton, blanket yarn, acrylic, depending on what I want. So I did another one. This one's not my favorite, but I went ahead and did a black bear in that cinder. It's just the eyes. And with this one, I used a 6mm for the head and a 7mm for the body. So it's a little bit different, the size difference, you can see. He's just a smidge smaller. So this little black bear, I think he would have looked really good with safety eyes, but I don't want to use safety eyes. So, and I didn't want to use black eyes because black would not show up. And instead of using the cinder yarn for his nose, I used that cotton black. I love this cotton and black. So I gave him sleepy eyes and brown cotton yarn. So I'm not sure yet. He's not my favorite. He may just go to my grandson. We'll see. Because he is a bit smaller. But I wanted to see what a black bear would look like in the cinder yarn. I like it. It's just with the eyes. I'm not 100% sure. Not loving it as much. So I'm still making bears. I want to make more bears. I'm on a roll now because they're easy to knock out. I can do it a lot of times I would finish one during the day while little man was sleeping. And after he would go home, I would start the head that night and then just finish up the body the next day. So it's a couple hours for me. But, you know, when you have a little one, y'all know, when you have a little one, you don't always get to do a couple hours straight. But anyway, so I wanted to make another one. And this is the Ever Bear I was telling y'all about. So you notice there's no color change there. And he was done in the same yarn. Same hook size, I believe, 7 and 8. Let me look that up on my Instagram. I hope y'all are hanging out with me and enjoying me sharing with y'all. Let me look. Talk among yourself. Yes. So this was done with my Furl stainless steel, 7 for the head, 8 for everything else. And I gave him little overalls. Isn't that stinking cute? So this is the Ever Bear. Mama Made Minis Ever Bear from their Etsy pattern. And their Mama Made Minis Briggs Bear. Very close in size and shape. It's just the nose is different. So it has a little bit more shape. This face style has a little bit more shaping to it than the Ever Bear. And so I gave him, look at his little tail. I did He's so cute. So I gave him a little surface crochet the tail on the back and gave him some overalls. And so what I did, I kind of looked, you know what, I didn't. I said I did a back loop crochet, but I didn't on this one. So I did a couple rows for the neck, and then the rest of the body all the way down to the legs, I did it in the yellow fronted blanket yarn. And then when I started the feet, I did a color change back to that blue. And then I just went in and crocheted, slip stitched, crocheted, slip stitched, fastened off, slip stitch, crochet, slip stitch, fasten off, and I just bring those ends through the body. And I may have taken it up to the head and fastened off at the head. But it's a really easy modification to do. You just figure out where you want to do that color change. This is not as clean as I like, but I still think it's cute. So we have the Ever Bear. And then I wanted to do another one. And another one with overalls. So I had some left over. I wanted to do it more fluffy. So I had some leftover Big Twist plush from the Joann. And let me pull up my Etsy so I can show you. I have to post this on my Etsy when I make them if I'm going to talk to y'all about it, because I won't remember. I just won't. Just the truth of the fact. And so I know a lot of you that are on my Etsy will know what my videos will be about, because you see it on my Etsy. But back to the bears. Y'all look, I did a polar bear. Isn't it stinking cute? And so this is leftover yarn I had from my Santa that I did. The white. So I was going to do him all white, but like I said, it was leftover yarn. So I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough. I'm like, well, let me give him some little green sage looking overalls. And that's what I did. So the second time around, I liked the way his overalls turned out. I actually worked that back loop when I did the color change. That was giving me those front loops to kind of give a little edging on it. Same way, slip stitch, single crochet, slip stitch, fasten off, slip stitch, single crochet, slip stitch in the back and fasten off, and then just take your ends, tie them together and tuck them back in the body. I really like the way this posh works up for these Loveys. And I know I heard a rumor, I don't know if Michael's is supposed to be picking up Joann's house brand, but I hope so, because I really do love this Big Twist posh. And I'm planning on using my rest of my leftovers, because I used it for my giant snowman and Santa that I did around Christmas time. And this is the leftover yarn, and I think it'll work out really great for little bears. And you don't have enough, so just change the color. Give them overalls, or make a multicolor bear. I think he's cute. And I just did mystical cinder yarn for the nose and the eyes. I was looking at pictures of polar bears, and they have those little kind of like squinty eyes, so I didn't worry about giving him the white. This is so cute. I think this is my favorite. All right, and I did use, let me see if I used, what hooks did I use for this? Let's see. So this is the Mama Made Minis Briggs Bear pattern. And you can see there's a little bit of size difference. I use a 7 and an 8 millimeter hook for this. So this is made out of the Big Twist Posh, which is a bit thicker than the Burnett Blanket Mystical. So this is the Ever Bear. And this is the Mama Made Minis bear. Out of the same pattern, same hook size. The Posh is a little bit bigger. And I found that the Mystical is a little bit thinner than regular Bernette blanket. It's kind of in between a Parfait Chunky and a Bernette blanket for me. So, I mean, I like it. It's easy to work with, but I do enjoy this plush, not Posh, plush, Big Twist plush. So there is a difference, size difference for sure. And I really like this size. So this was, yeah, I think I told y'all everything about this sweetheart. All right, so I wanted to make another one. And I made a little girl. I said, I need one with a tutu. And I said, well, let me look and see what I can find in my yarn stash. So I did this sweet little thing. And I think I put her on my Instagram also. This is... All right, so this is Penny the Panda Bear from their book. What did I do with their book? Hold on. I'll be right back. So this was from the Mama Made Minis, Knotted Loveys, their book. And this is Penny. Penny Panda. And yeah, I'll show you her. Let's see. Hold on. There you go. So I was looking at Penny Panda and I'm thinking, well, I can use this color change as a guide for overalls or a dress. But I think I actually went up a stitch. So I didn't do my color change there. I did it one stitch up. So this is the Penny Panda Bear pattern from Mama Made Minis book. And this is made out of the Bernette yarn, Baby Blanket Frost in Cozy Rose. Look at those colors. I just love those colors. It's like it's hard to pick out one particular color to make the dress in, but I wanted to do pink. I thought about doing a brighter pink. Thought about doing this tan pink that I had, but I think that would look okay also. But this is this pretty, what was this called? Blush pink. She almost has a mouse looking shape nose. Let me look at the pattern. But you could, yeah. Well, it's just, she just turned out the way she wanted to turn out. And now probably with stuffing, I could bring this out a little bit more. But with Mama Made Minis, with these bears, you don't have to do face shaping or anything like that. The ears are crocheted in, you sew on the arms, and then everything else is made in one piece. But for her little dress, couple rows down on the body, I did a color change. And I did do a back loop when I did this round, so I'd have that front loop to work on. But when I was working on her, I realized I need to come further down. I didn't want her skirt to be right there, so I just picked, instead of picking up that front loop, I just picked up those stitches and started single crocheting. Looks like I did a double crochet. Looks like a half double and then double, and then I did these little ruffles, 3 double crochets, skip a stitch, slip stitch, next stitch, do 3 double crochets. I believe that's what I did. And so with the white, with the pink, like I said, I did the color change here, and I just followed it all the way down to the legs, and then I color changed to give, all right, what I did. So with this modification, I did the color change all the way down till I got to the legs, went back to the leg color, and changed it back to pink. I'm not sure why I did that. I think it would look fine all one color. It's just a preference. But, like, you know, it's just a preference. So I like this. I thought it was cute. And what I've learned is I can make a skirt with this plush yarn just by picking up those stitches without having to worry if it's a front loop stitch. I hope y'all understand what I'm talking about. And I thought she turned out cute. I gave her embroidery eyes. I didn't want to do black. She just looked too delicate for black. So I used gray acrylic for the eyes and that white cotton to use around the eyes. And then this is that baby brunette sand for the nose. She doesn't look very bearish, but I think she looks cute all the same. And I hope I made sense with this dress modification. Yeah. So moving right along, this was from the Mama Made Minis book. And I got some more to show y'all. Okay. So that's all of the knotted loveys that I did. But I did some more bears because I was having a very good week. I did the Briggs bear. And I did the plushie from their ebook. And this is little Briggs bear. And he's turned out so cute. I love the little floppy head. The thing that's, so you make the head. You make the head, the ears, and then you follow the pattern on their ebook. I really like their ebook. I've used it a couple times already. And then you find your bear or whatever project you're making. You have to have the Mama Made Mini Etsy Minis pattern that's on their Etsy. Yeah. So the Mama Made Minis, Knotted Loveys from their Etsy, or they may have other accounts. I'm not real sure. And I got a gripe with Etsy. We'll talk about that later. So the Briggs bear, that same pattern that I've used to make these babies is the head, the same head pattern I used. And then if you have the ebook, you go on, you look at the Briggs bear, and then it's a chart. Then you hit the legs, you do the legs, then you hit the body, and you can pick what body shape you want, what leg shape you want. Well, this one I kind of messed up on. I was watching, I got hooked on Jenny and Georgia Netflix. Anyway, I was watching TV, I'm sure, watching a show, and I do a leg, an arm, and I'm like, well, he's got 4. I'm going to need 4 because I got to attach 4, right? So I did arms and legs, and then when I did the legs, I'm like, oh, I was supposed to have another stitch in here where I was supposed to kind of decrease. And, well, I said, well, I'm like, nope, I'm going to leave it. So I did, the arms are shorter by mistake. The legs are longer because that's the way the arms were supposed to be made. I wasn't supposed to make 4 arms. I was supposed to make an arm, and then they have a leg pattern. Let me show you let me show you. So this is, I made another one the right way. This is the leg pattern. This is what the legs were supposed to look like, not 2 arms. So not only did I mess up on the arms on the first 2, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just gonna go with it. So this is Briggs the bear, Mama Made Minis plushies with this type of legs, which happens to be arms for his legs and his arms. And then there's this one here. That's the way it's supposed to be made. He's got his little foot shaping And there's several different patterns you can pick from with what type of feet you want and what type of arms you want. You can do them where they have the little paws or thumbs. This is just the basic. And this is just the basic body. And it looks like it will sit really well. And then you sew the head on. You can adjust the head however you want. They do give you instructions on how to sew the head, but I just kind of position it where I think it would look good. And then I have this knitting needle I'll take and push through the top that kind of holds the head in place as I sew that head to the body. This one I stuffed a little bit more. It's not quite as wobbly as this one. But this little thing, I took pictures and I'm like, it needs something. So I made her a bow and put her a bow. I think it works really well for her. Him, I don't know. Now his nose, you can tell his muzzle's a little bit different because with the Briggs Bear, when you do the color change, they have you do increases and decreases. And it gives this little, all of them have that little star looking effect. Let's see. And I was going to go back in and try to clean it up with the brown yarn. Oh, this is, by the way, that Big Twist plush cardamom. When Joann's was going out of business, this is one of the things that I grabbed because I'm like, I can always make bears out of that. And you, like I said, if you just have, this is also Big Twist plush. Yeah. Leftover from Santa or the reindeer. And I did the Santa reindeer and snowman. Anyway, back to this bear. What I did with this one, after I did the back loop, I went around one more time before I did those increases and decreases, and it cleaned it up a little bit, but it made his little muzzle a little bit bigger than what I like. So I don't know, you guys. I was just experimenting with it, but I still think he's stinking cute. And I do like these feet the way they turned out. And so I may make this little guy a bow tie out of that Teal Storm, that blue, and give him a bow tie. What y'all think? He's a bow tie? All right. Oh, and I got one more thing to show y'all, but I'll show y'all in another video because it's not about bears. It is getting hot. We have had rain, which I'm thankful, but after it rains, it heats up like a sauna. The whole South is a sauna. But it's all good. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. If y'all have any questions, please reach out to me. I know I get to going and I may not fully explain something very well, but I'm going to let y'all go. This video is already long enough. Maybe in another video I can kind of chat with you a little bit about things that have been going on the past couple weeks, because there's some things that's been going on. But that's another time and place. All right. Thank y'all for being here, and I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, and I hope y'all have a great night, morning, whenever you may be watching this, and I really do appreciate you being here. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all.